So did you sign anybody?
Not anybody else. Not since last week or a couple weeks ago or whatever. You know, we haven't.
It's been a couple of days.
Nobody knew.
It's been a couple of days since Saturday. You've got a chance to look at the tape, sit with your team. Another good effort for 32 minutes, but it takes 40.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was a 2.5 minute to 3 minute stretch to where we turned the ball over, and when we made the turnover, we fouled, and they were in the penalty, so they got free throws. Then on the other end, we gave up a couple layups and 1 3, and then we just couldn't. Everything that we believed in for 33 minutes, 34 minutes, we just threw it all away for 2.5, 3 minutes. So we have to be able to sustain for 40 minutes. I like the direction that we're going in, but these games hurt that we're just giving away.
When you look at that, as far as, you know, is that just youth, especially up front, when it comes to following the path? But then when things get a little tight and, you know, the clock's getting close to zeros, you know, you start to revert to some of the things that you knew were successful for you as a player, you know, on the level they were on before they got here.
Well, I mean, you expect the freshmen to do that. You expect them to rush. You expect them to take a bad shot here or there or make a turnover. But your calming spirit has to be the seniors. And we had 3 seniors on the floor at all times in that run with 2 freshmen, of course, Alex and Tyler. And they came out in the second half and made adjustments. They made adjustments on Tyler. But we still had the same game plan working, and we just did not make enough plays offensively nor defensively in that 3 minute stretch.
What can you guys do to get Jeremiah going like he was a year ago? How could you evaluate just what he's done and maybe what he can do to be more involved offensively?
Well, we're doing everything possible. We run plays for Jeremiah. He's our leader. We keep him in the fold, you know, and he's playing 34 minutes a game, so he's out there enough to figure it out. It's just right now I just think he's in a small slump or a large slump in his mind because, you know, last year things came easier to him. This year he has more help at the guard position, but his shots aren't falling, and I'm sure with just hard work and continue to work that things would turn around for him.
Kenny, you never want to get to March and look back at the beginning of the season and wonder, man, if we would have had that game or that game. Mm-hmm. You knew that when you put the schedule together. Where you sit right now, or are you kicking yourself because how well you played for stretches at LSU and again on Saturday that you're like, man, I hope this doesn't come back to bite us again?
No, I would never look at it as coming back to bite us because I played the schedule for a reason, to learn more about myself, about the staff, and about our players. This is one, I don't know what it ranks among schedules thus far in the season, but I'm sure it's not lower than top 20. We played some really good teams early. Yale been a great team that no one gave credit for. They just beat Miami in the same tournament that we played. And, you know, playing LSU at LSU, Oklahoma State, and Texas Tech, 2 Big 12 teams. I mean, this wasn't an easy schedule, but I wanted that. I think that we're getting better. I think this is going to, you know, kind of a laugh now, cry later type of thing on our part because we've learned so much about ourselves in these 7 games playing these great teams that I think we're starting to figure things out that's making us better, and that's what I wanted. I'll never look back and kick myself because of this. This is only going to help us, not hurt us.
What have you learned? You mentioned wanting to learn things for yourself. What have you learned for yourself to this point?
Well, what lineups mesh at the proper times. What plays to run that we could get a really good look while we're struggling. Switching up defenses. We've been working on a zone for a while, but they weren't really getting it, so I haven't really played that as much. Might do more of that, and we worked on more trapping yesterday. So I really, because we were so behind in other areas, I didn't really work on the full game plan of what I really like to work with, but now we're starting to implement those things. But basically just seeing where we need to just do things at certain times and how we need to start the game off. We're never going to, in my mind, allow the best player or the 2 best players to just do whatever they want to do anymore. And I didn't implement that. We tried to do it a couple times in a couple games, and it just failed miserably, so I just stayed away from it. But our principles are good enough on defense if we stick to the game plan to be able to win basketball games, but you do have to switch it up sometimes.
On the pullback on the press, what was your thinking of pulling? You didn't press as much Saturday, is it at all?
Yeah, well, we felt like we had it going. We didn't want to disrupt anything. You know, we had it going for 34 minutes, up 13, 14, 15 points, so I felt like that game plan was going great. I didn't want to mix it up at the time. When they went to zone, we had the same reads. We just started turning the ball over and fouling. If we stuck to the game plan, I feel like we win that game by 10 points or more. But we deviated from it, and that's a part of being a young team together. I hadn't been in the battle, and we have some guys that we need to play way better, not playing great right now, and that all meshes. And I'm learning every day how to get better.
You haven't abandoned the press, whatever.
Oh, no. No, we're just getting it better. We're tuning it up and making it better where we can kind of seize the moment, because you can't press recklessly. You got to know how to press, and that's what I'm teaching the team, how to cover for each other. And when we press, that we're going to get an immediate result instead of giving up an easy basket. We're gonna have opportunity to really get a steal.
Speaking to some of that, you said the game plan you put together, and it was working for you. The team was running the way you wanted to run, but when you're up like 12 in the second half, did you ever have a pinch me moment yourself thinking this stuff actually works and they're actually?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, basketball is basketball. I've been through so many tough games as a player. I've been through enough tough games as a coach in high school, AAU. So I understand, what works, and all this stuff is NBA stuff that I've learned, and it works. It's just a matter of the guys that are trying to executing it, the timing on it, and being able to pull it off as well.
Penny, you guys are home for the next month. How big is that time to just get better, and what does it allow you to do more with the schedule like that? Yeah,
the way we played our schedule, we really set ourselves up to have an unbelievable season. And instead of being 3-4, being 5-2 right now, 6-1, could have possibly happened that way. And then having the entire month of December at home. It didn't go as we planned in the beginning of it, but this month was to be to learn one another, to learn more things. To go, when they get out of school, go 2-a-days, skill practice in the morning on their skill sets, and then in the afternoon working on our practice and our plan. And December was a huge month for us to just get better overall, because we've been having to work on so much stuff that we should have been past by now, but we just had to keep teaching this one thing, and now we're able to kind of explore more in the month of December, being at home for the entire month.
What type of challenge are you expecting from South Dakota State?
South Dakota State has gone to the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row. Their best player, Mike Dahm, is the best individual player that we played this year. He has a couple games in his career where he's hit 40-plus and a 150-plus game. And it doesn't matter who you do that on. You're an exciting player, great player. I think he has over 2,400 points thus far in his career. Could end up with 3,000 points. That's a lot of points, and he's averaging a double-double right now. So that team rallies around him. They have two guards that are averaging double figures. The shooting guard is averaging about 23, and another guard, they play like a 4-guard set. He's averaging like 16. So, I mean, they got a crew of guys that understand what they do. They play within their system, and they're going to junk it up on defense. So this adds to what we wanted for the season, the beginning of the season. We didn't want to come out playing what we call easy games and just to get going and get a better record. No, we wanted to get better so we could get prepared for our league.
Buying chicken wings tonight you're buying chicken wings to get people to come to.
Well, yeah, the first 25 students from the University of Memphis will definitely get free wings on me at my radio show tonight at the Bluff. Thanks for the plug there.
What's the idea? You just want to get some.
Well, we want to get the kids to come out and support, not just me, just to be in the atmosphere. We want them to come to the games. We want them to be involved with everything that we do around campus, and the Bluff is one of the better spots for the kids to go to during the week to socialize or whatever. So now it's just going to be in the format of my show, and we want it to be a family atmosphere with everybody in there having fun.
Penny, where are you kind of on how much you want to play a guard-heavy lineup, and how much will you maybe rethink that if somebody other than Tyler Harris doesn't start knocking down?
Yeah, we need David Winget. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on the freshman. We're doing enough of that on another freshman. We're doing enough of that with Tyler Harris, and he's stepping up to the plate. But David Winget is a drop-dead shooter, and we needed that in that corner. Just like Tyler was knocking the shots, you have two shooters out there. It changed the whole dynamics of the game. But still didn't mean that we couldn't finish the game off better than what we did. But David is important to our team. His injury, and when he was just starting to get better at it again, another injury, but he's starting to understand it more, asking more questions, and he's playing a lot better.
Where's the status of the injury right now?
He's walking a lot better. In Miami, it was bad. Now, seeing him yesterday and seeing him today, he's walking a lot better. Probably a week, I would say, just watching him.
What is the injury? I'm sorry.
He got a kind of like a calf contusion, like got knee in the side of his leg or in the back of his calf, and it swole. It was in practice at the very end of practice.
This is like last week?
It was right before we left to go to Miami, the day before.
And when you mentioned this stretch of being home for a month, is this an opportunity to make a run? You're at home, can do more practicing, and I know you have Tennessee in there, you got some tough games, Houston on the back end of it, but is this an opportunity, circle the wagons and make a run at home as conference gets started with the new year?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm big on home court advantage. When I played here, we always spoke on we don't lose at home. And it's only a few teams that have come in here and actually been successful on our home court. And we don't want anybody to be successful this year. We have to protect home court. There's enough tough road games, that you got to go and, you know, and fight hard for. When you're at home, you have to take care of business. And this stretch is a stretch for us to really take from what we've done thus far, the 7 games that we played, and then just, you know, use that knowledge to help us win these games in December and go into conference with the utmost confidence.
You mentioned the game plan a lot today. How does that sort of get formed as far as you working with your assistants? How much of it is you versus Mike or whoever?
Well, we usually assign a coach to scout it, but me, I look at the game 3 or 4 times myself, and then we'll come together with the guy that scouts the game, and we'll come up with ideas. And at the end of the day, he'll say, however you want to play this, you know, we'll do it, and we'll come up with a game plan. And right now, we're 7 for 7, spot on with what teams want to do to us, and we're going in there with a perfect game plan. I mean, you can say perfect because everything that we've gone over and put into the plan has worked.
You memorize all these stats, all the guards and players on the other team. Does that just come naturally, or do you like?
No, it just comes naturally. And then I also work. I love the game of basketball. I love the numbers. I love watching other talent. I have a lot of respect for a lot of coaches and talent around this, you know, in the NCAA. And I'm very well aware of who the players are, and not only the players, who the guys are that can affect the game from the defensive end or just shooters. And that's just me, just being a basketball junkie.
What do you use, an iPad? What do you use, iPad?
Yeah, well, I have a laptop. All our kids have iPads.
But you do your studying on
Yeah.
Who's same lineup, starting lineup tomorrow?
Yep, same lineup tomorrow. Unless I make a decision not to, it's going to be the same.
Time for one more. Who's scout is this game?
This is Tony Madlock Scout.
Mad Dog?
Mad Dog Scout.
Is there a difference between the scouting styles from your assistants?
Yes, everybody has their own style. Sam has his style, you know, being a head coach in the NBA and coach of the year. Tony, being an assistant for so long, has his scout, and Mike has his. Everything is different. I mean, but it's still the same message. Everybody, we kind of try to give them the strengths and weaknesses of everything and how we're going to play it, and try to make it as simple as possible for the kids.
Thank you.
Penny, is there no update from last time?
No.
Are you getting discouraged?
Yes.